So I'm getting ready to plant potatoes, my red potatoes for the spring. And here I'm just manually digging some rows because I don't have a tractor. And so this is the best way to do them. So I'm just digging them up. I went ahead and I lined up my twine to keep my rows straight. I'm digging roughly maybe about 10 inches down and just pouring the dirt to the side so that way I can easily put them back onto the rows. I did measure the rows 3 feet apart. It doesn't have to be precise. I just took 3 steps and I moved the twine so that way I can have plenty of room to be able to walk in between and to be able to build up the rows as I'm pulling the dirt to the side. These are potatoes that I had stored, and I'll just be planting these. They've been roughly sitting for almost a year. All right, so normally we plant these about 10 inches apart, 10 to 12. Sometimes you can do them closer if you like. You don't have to do them super close or super far apart. Just depends on how big you want your potato. The closer they are, the smaller your potatoes are going to be. The further apart they are, the bigger your potatoes are going to be. It's going to give them more room. Now, normally I wouldn't let them grow out this far, you know, with the vines and all that stuff, but they were in a box in my storage and they just grew. So it's a good way for me to be able to store them and then be able to reuse them. They're going to grow the same, so these are fine. They're red potatoes and they grow great in Georgia, so these are the ones that I'm going to be growing. And that's it. Now also, we normally will fertilize this row. You can add a little bit of fertilizer, the 10-10-10, and mix it up a little bit, but unfortunately with my test that I did, my soil test, I have very high levels of different nutrients, potassium and nitrogen and things like that. So I don't want to add more on top of what I already have. I was slightly deficient in copper and magnesium, so I did add some of those in here. So here's some of the nutrients that I did add. I went ahead and I mixed them up in the soil, and I'm going to wait to add some of the potassium after they start growing. Once they start growing, I'm going to go through the rows and start fertilizing them with more potassium because that's going to help the potatoes grow better. I still have a lot of more potatoes left, so I'm going to have to dig at least maybe two more rows, probably 3. Be sure to stretch. This could be very hard on your back and on your arms, so make sure you stretch before and after you start. I have a little left, but I'm not going to build any more rows because I'm tired. So I'm just going to put these aside or donate them to someone that would like them. And now I'm going to bury the potatoes about 6 inches with the dirt. So I'm attempting to hook up my sprinkler, but then I notice that I got this rip in it. This is from it getting under freezing temperatures, and I did wrap a towel around it to try to help protect it, but that doesn't work. So I'm just letting you know, whenever you got freezing temperatures, these have to come completely unhooked so that way it doesn't bust your water hoses from the ice. Now this one over here, I did disconnect. So I have this wand that I disconnect every time, and that one was fine. I didn't have any problems with the water hose. So just as a tip, make sure you unhook all your sprinklers during freezing temperatures. All right, I got my sprinkler hooked up. We're getting it watered. These potatoes should sprout within about 3 weeks. Once they get about 6 to 8 inches, that's when you're gonna bring up the sides and then keep on doing that. You might want to do that about 2 or 3 times as they're growing. Before I do that, I am going to side dress them with more fertilizer, especially I believe it was potassium. Let me show you which one I have. I'm going to side dress it with this potassium and maybe some other nutrients. I'm going to double check my soil test and see if what other nutrients that it needs. And then after that, they take about 120 days to grow, and they're extremely self-sustainable. They last for quite a while. You can store them up to maybe 6 months to a year, just depends on how well you store them. You can can them. There's so many things that you can do with them. So this is a wonderful crop. It's very easy to grow. It's not hard. Make sure your soil is very loose whenever you till it up. I did till it before I started and added any nutrients that I needed, and so we should be good.